Hello viewers, welcome to May-June 2014 WAEC, also known as WASSCE, past questions and detailed solution, general mathematics, mathematics core paper 2 part 2. This part contains questions 6 to 13, about 8 questions, and you are expected to answer 5 questions in this part. Solution to 8 questions in one video. Question 6a. If 3 over 2p minus 1 over 2 is equal to 1 over 3 over 1 over 4 times p plus 1, find p. So this is the given problem. Let us clear the fractions by cross multiplying. So you have 3 multiply this, what you have here, 1 over 3 multiplies this, and that is what you have here. So let's open the bracket. 3 times 1 over 4p, you have 3 over 4p. 3 times plus 1, you have plus 3, equal to 1 over 2 times 1 over 3 times 2p, you have 2 over 3p. 1 over 3 times minus 1 over 2, you have minus 1 over 6. Once again, let us clear the fractions by multiply through by the LCM of 12. So if you multiply the first term by 12, you are left with 3 times 3p, that is 9p plus 36, equal to, you multiply this by 12, divide 12 by 3 is 4. 4 times 2p, you have 8p, equal to, you multiply this by 12, divide 12 by 6, you have 2. 2 times 1, that is 2. So you have minus 2. If you collect like terms, you have 9p minus 8p equal to minus 2 minus 36 when you transfer this, and p is equal to minus 38. Question 6b. A television set was marked for sale at 760 Ghana cedi in order to make a profit of 20%. The television set was actually sold at a discount of 5%. Calculate correct to 2SF the actual percentage profit. Solution. The price the TV set was marked for sale is the original selling price. So SP equal to this. Percentage profit is 20. Then the cost price at that point is known. So let's get the cost price first using this formula. Now 20% is 20 over 100. That removes this in operation. Selling price 760 minus cost price over cost price. If you reduce this, you have 1 over 5 equal to right hand side. If you cross multiply, you have this. Open the bracket, you have this result. Collect like terms, you have this result. If you add the left hand side, you have 6 CP equal to 3,800. Divide both sides by 6. CP is equal to this, and that is 633 minus 33. Now, for the actual percentage profit, there is 5% discount on selling price. That actually means that the new selling price is 95% because you've removed 5% discount of the original selling price. Okay, That is 760, not 3,800. So let us get this value. That is 95 over 100 times 760, and that is 722 Ghana cedi is the actual selling price. So we use the same cost price to get the actual percentage profit. We use the same formula we use here. So but here we have new selling price. Cost price remain the same over cost price times 100%. If you subtract, you get this. If you multiply the numerator, you have this result over denominator. If you divide, you have 14.0006%. So 2SF, you have 14% as the actual percentage profit. Question 7a, copy and complete the table of values for the relation y equal to 2 sine s plus 1. You have the table of values with some missing y values, and of course you are expected to get them. Be part of the question using scales of 2 cm to 30 degrees on the x-axis and 2 cm to 1 unit on the y-axis. Draw the graph of y equal to 2 sine s plus 1 for the range of values of s 0 degrees less than equal to s less than equal to 270 degrees. C. Use the graph to find the values of s for which sine s is equal to 1 over 4. Solution. A part of the question is to get the complete table of values for y equal to 2 sine s plus 1 for the range of values of s. Already s values are known. To get y value, you need to compute 2 sine s, add it to 1, and you get y. So let's start with 2 sine s. When s is 0 degrees, sine 0 degrees is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. When s is 30 degrees, sine 30 degrees is 0.5. 0.5 times 2, you have 1.0, and so on. Always maintain 1 dp because of the nature of the graph. Now 1 is a constant. You write 1 under each value of s, then you add. If you add this, you get 1. If you add this, you have 2.0. If you add this, you have 1.7. If you add this, you have 3.0. Now if you come here and add this, minus 2 plus 1 is minus 1. You can check other values. B part of the question is to draw the graph. Let us start by restating the given scale. 2 cm to 30 degrees on the x-axis, 2 cm to 1 unit on the y-axis. This graph we have here, each box or square contains 5 lines. So the 5 line is 1 unit. But because you have 2, the 5 line is 1 cm. But because we have 2 cm, you combine 2 boxes and give it 2 boxes as 2 cm. You give it 1 unit on the y-axis and 30 degrees on the x-axis. This scale implies that one line is 0.1 unit on the y-axis. You have 10 lines from here to this place. If you divide number of units 1 by number of lines 10, you have 0.1, and one line is equal to 3 degrees on the x-axis. Next thing is to plot. When x is 0 degrees, y is 1. That is the origin here. You plot that point directly on the y-axis. When s is 30 degrees, y is 2. Easy to locate. When s is 60 degrees, y is 2.7. Now, we've stated that on the y-axis, one line is 0.1. From 2, if you count 7 lines upward, you have 2.7. That is somewhere here. You plot it against 60 degrees. When s is 90 degrees, y is 3. Easy to locate. When s is 120 degrees, y is 2.7, the same point with this. So you just trace it and you mark that point. When s is 150 degrees, y is 2.0. When s is 180 degrees, y is 1. When s is 210 degrees, y is 0. You plot that point directly on the x-axis. When s is 240 degrees, y is minus 0.7. After the 0, you count 7 lines downward. That is minus 0.7. That is somewhere here. And when s is 270 degrees, y is minus 1. You always include the title of the graph, and it is simply the relation that you are given to plot. Next thing is to join the points together and answer question C using the graph. All the points have been joined together. Question C, use the graph to find the values of s for which sine s is equal to 1/4. You must note that before you can use the graph to solve this equation must be simplified to exactly this. It is a must. So let's do that. This is the given equation. First, let us get 2 sine s by using 2 to multiply through. If you do that, you have 2 sine s equal to, you multiply this by 2, you have 1/2. To get 2 sine s plus 1, let us add 1 to both sides. If you add 1 to both sides, you have this result. Notice that 1/2 is the same as 0.5. So you have 2 sine s plus 1 is equal to 1.5. What that means is that the solution of this equation occurs at y equal to 1.5, because everything you have here is y. So you go to y-axis and you locate 1.5 somewhere here, and you trace it across the curve, and it comes in contact with the curve at 2 points. Then you trace the 2 points to the x-axis. Notice that one line is 3 degrees, here is 15 degrees, and this place is 165 degrees. Here you start counting from 0, here you start counting from 150 to this point. So that is the solution of the equation. The values of s, 15 degrees and 165 degrees. Petakus Simplified Maths. If you are watching and view from YouTube, don't forget to subscribe for more updates, like and share PSM videos. If you are viewing and watching from Facebook, follow and like the page for more updates. Also share PSM videos. Question 8. Copy and complete the following table for multiplication in Modular 11. The table is there with some missing value. Use the table to evaluate 9 times 5 in bracket times bracket open 10 times 10. Remember figure 2, find the truth set of part 1, this equal to 2, and part 2 of Roman figure 2, this equal to 4. So we have solution, multiplication table for Modular 11. Now this is what happened. Modular 11 has 11 elements from 0 to 10. So in the completion of the table, no digit must exceed 10. The highest is 10. So if you have any digit above 10, you have to divide it by 11 and you record the remainder. So you take 1 to multiply 1, 5, 9, 10. You have this result. 5 times 1, 5. 5 times 5 is 11. How? 5 times 5 is 25. 25 is not an element in Modular 11. So you divide it by 11 and you have 2 remainder 3. So you record the remainder 3. 5 times 9 is 45. Divide by 11 is 4 remainder 1. You record the remainder. 5 times 10 is 50. Divide by 11 is 4 remainder 6. You record the remainder, and so on. Let's share the last one. 10 times 10 is 100. Divide by 11, you have 9 remainder 1. You record 1, the remainder. It is as simple as that. Roman figure 1, you should evaluate this. It is very simple. You look for 9 times 5. This is 9 and this is 5. When you trace down, 1 is the point of intersection. That is the 1 that you have here. So you look for 10 times 10, you have 1. So you have another 1, and 1 times 1 is 1. Roman figure 2, part 1. 10 times m equal to 2. This is the meaning. Which number will multiply 10 to give remainder of 2? So let's take 10 as the row, the m is the column. This is 10, this is remainder of 2. If you trade this place up, you have 9. So 10 times 9 gives 2. So m is equal to 9. Roman figure 2, part 2. 2, the same number that will multiply, and the result is remainder 4. So you check remainder 4 is here. You trace it up, you have 9. You trace to the left, you also have 9. So n is equal to 9. Question 8b. When a fraction is reduced to its lowest term, it is equal to 3 over 4. The numerator of the fraction when double would be 34 greater than the denominator. Find the fraction. Let the numerator and the denominator of the fraction be s and y. So s over y, if you reduce it to its lowest form, it is equal to 3 over 4. That is s over y equal to 3 over 4. You can express any of the variables in terms of the other. So let's express s in terms of y and call that equation 1. From the second statement, if you double the numerator, that is 2s, the result is greater than the denominator by 34. That is 2s equal to y plus 34. Let's call that equation 2. To continue, you can put equation 1 into equation 2. This is equation 2. If you replace s with 3 over 4y, you have it in this form. You see that? If you reduce 2 and 4 by 2, you have 3 over 2y. So let's transfer this term to the left hand side. It becomes negative equal to 34. Multiply through by 2 to clear fraction, you have this result. If you subtract, y is equal to 68. Now let us get s using equation 1. That is s equal to 3 over 4 times y, and that is 3 over 4 times 68. You have 3 times 17 equal to 51. Hence, the fraction is 51 over 68. 51 over 68. You see that if you reduce this fraction to its lowest form, you have 3 over 4. If you use 17 to divide through. Question 9a. In the Venn diagram, P, Q, and arrow are subsets of the universal set U. Number of elements in universal set equal to 125. Find Roman figure 1, the value of s. Roman figure 2, number of elements in P union Q, intersection arrow complement. So let's take the solution. Solution. To get the value of s, you simply equate all the elements in the subset, including 4, to the universal set. That is 125 after addition. So you add this to this to this, then you add this, you add this, you add this, you add to 4s and 4. You equate it to 125, and that is what you have here. Now take 16 plus 6, that is 22. 22 plus 19, you have 41, plus 4, you have 45. Minus 2s minus 3s is minus 5s. That will remove plus 5s. If you add these 3, you have 19s plus s. That is 20s equal to 125. Collect like terms. 20s equal to 125 minus 45. 20s equal to 80. To get s, divide both sides by 20, and s is equal to 4. Roman figure 2, number of elements in P union Q, intersection arrow prime. That is having no business with arrow prime. Now this is P only, this is Q only, this is P and Q. So the union of P and Q is addition of only P to only Q to both P and Q, and that is what you have here. So that simplifies to 22 plus 4s, and s is 4. So you have 22 plus 4 times 4 equal to 22 plus 16, and that is 38. 9b, in the diagram, O is the center of the circle if WS is parallel to YZ and angle WSY is 50 degrees. Find the value of angle WYZ. Now we got 2, angle YES. YWS, that is this angle. So because SW and YZ are parallel, once you get this angle, it is equal to this angle. So let's start from here by considering triangle SYW. This angle here is 90 degrees. So if you add the 3 angles in that triangle, the sum is 180 degrees. So 2 of the angles are 50 and 90 plus the third angle equal to 180. That is 140 plus angle SWY equal to 180. This angle is SWY. To get that angle, you collect like terms, and after subtraction, angle SWY becomes 40 degrees. Now, angle WYZ that you are asked to look for is equal to angle SWY, and that is 40 degrees. Alternate angles. Roman figure 2, find angle YEZ, that is this angle YEZ. Now already we know this angle. Now if we get this angle, we can get this angle that is equal to this angle. This angle WOZ is angle at center and is equal to 2 times angle WYZ. That is this angle at circumference. So angle at center is twice angle at circumference. So angle WOZ is 2 times 40 degrees, and that is 80 degrees. In triangle WOE, if you add the 3 angles, the sum is 180 degrees. We are interested in WEO, that is this angle now. So you have 80 degrees plus 40 degrees plus angle WEO equal to 180 degrees. That is 120 degrees plus angle WEO equal to 180 degrees. To get angle WEO, collect like terms and subtract, you have 60 degrees. Therefore, angle YEZ is equal to angle WEO, and that is 60 degrees. Vertically opposite angles. Petakus Simplified Maths. If you are viewing and watching from YouTube, don't forget to subscribe for more updates, like and share PSM videos. If you are watching and viewing from Facebook, follow and like the page for more updates. Also share PSM videos. Question 10a. Solve bracket open s minus 2 bracket close bracket open s minus 3 bracket close equal to 12. Now, don't be tempted to equate each bracket to 12. You only do that when you have 0 at the right hand side. What we do here is that you expand the left hand side, you transfer 12 in for you to have 0. So to expand, the first term s times first term and second term of the second bracket, you have s squared minus 3s. The second term of the first bracket times first term and second term, you have minus 2s plus 6 equal to 0, equal to 12. So let's transfer 12 in and add the like terms so that you have s squared minus 5s plus 6 minus 12 equal to 0, and that is s squared minus 5s minus 6 equal to 0. To factorize, look for two factors of 6 that their sum is minus 5 and the product is minus 6. That must be minus 6 and plus 1. So you express the two factors in terms of s and replace the middle term with them in this form for you to have 4 terms. The purpose is to factorize by grouping, so you take the first 2 terms as the first group, the last 2 terms the second group. From the first group, s is common. If you factor out s, you are left with s minus 6. From the second group, nothing is common, and as such, you can only factor out 1. Clearly, s minus 6 is common. If you take it out, this term that is outside s plus 1 will form the other bracket, and you equate both to 0. At this point, you equate each factor to 0. If you transfer the respective constant terms, you have s equal to 6 or s equal to minus 1. And that simplifies to s equal to minus 6 equal to minus 1 or minus 6. Question 10b. In the diagram, M and N are centers of the two circles of equal radii 7 cm. The circles intersect at P and Q. If angle PMQ is equal to angle PNQ and is equal to 60 degrees, calculate correct to the nearest whole number the area of the shaded portion. The way the shaded portion is, there is no name that you can give to it. Now take it this way, if you decide to remove this circle from here also, you are just left with the shaded part and it has no name as well. Now let us join the point of intersection together. So we have a chord and an arc. You cannot call it a segment. So the shaded portion, its area is the sum of the segments for the two circles. So what I just said is what you have here. So area of the shaded portion is the sum of the area of segments of circle P, A, Q and P, B, Q. So area of segment is this. The angle is 60 degrees and the radii is 7. Once you do for one, you add both together. Okay, so for the first part, taking this part now, you have 60 over 3 60 degrees times pi 22 over 7 times arrow square, that is 7 square minus everything the second part. You have arrow square, 7 square and sine theta, that is sine 60 degrees. The first part simplifies to this minus the second part, and that is 25.667 minus 21.217, and that is 4.450 square centimeter. So area of segment of circle PBQ is also this, because this one we have here now is for circle PAQ, since both circles have the same information. So the one for the first one also serves for the second circle. Hence, area of the shaded portion is the addition of the two areas, and that is 8.90 square centimeters. Question 11. The table shows the distribution of outcomes when a die is thrown 50 times. Calculate the A part of the question, mean deviation of the distribution. B, the probability that a score selected at random is at least 4. Solution. For the mean deviation, because the scores involve frequencies, we use this formula. Though you are not asked to find the mean, but the mean is required in order to find the mean deviation. The first step is to get the mean, and that is summation fs over summation f. So you need to create another table, and the column for fs will be included for us to get the mean before looking for the mean deviation. So you have the table. S is for the scores, then F is frequencies. You have scores 1 to 6 and their respective frequencies. To get the mean, the formula is summation Fs over summation F. So we create the column for Fs. That is the product of S and F. So 1 times 2, you have 2. 1 times 5, you have 10. 3 times 13, you have 39, and so on. So you add this column down and you have 200. You add the column for frequency down, you have 50. So the mean is equal to summation Fs, that is 200, divided by summation F, 50, and you have 4. To get the mean deviation, we need to add 3 extra columns. The formula for mean deviation is summation F, absolute value of S minus S bar over summation F. So we need to get S minus S bar. Now the mean is 4. So you have 1 minus 4 is minus 3. 2 minus 4 is minus 2. 3 minus 4 is minus 1. 4 minus 4 is 0. 5 minus 4, you have 1. And 6 minus 4, you have 2. This symbol of absolute value changes all negative to positive, and positive remains positive. So minus 3 minus 2 minus 1 becomes 2, 3, 1, and the rest value. When you are done with that, you multiply this column by the frequency column to get the last column. So 2 times 3 is 6. That is 2 times 3, 6. 5 times 2, you have 10. 13 times 1 is 13. You have 11 times 0 is 11. 9 times 1 is 9. 10 times 2 is 20. When you are done with that, you add up this column and you have 58. Therefore, the mean deviation is 58 over 50, and that is 1.16. B part of the question, probability that a score is at least 4. A score is at least 4 means greater than or equal to 4. That is 4 and above. So you look at probability of 4 plus probability that the score is 5 plus that the score is 6. This problem is experimental problem, so we are interested in the frequency of the score, not the score per se. So this is frequency of 4 plus frequency of 5 plus frequency of 6 over sum of frequency. From the table, frequency of 4 is 11, frequency of 5 is 9, frequency of 6 is 10. So you add up the respective frequencies and divide it by 50. That is 30 over 50, and it reduces to 3 over 5, which gives 0.6 as the required probability. Petakus Simplified Maths. If you are watching and view from YouTube, don't forget to subscribe for more updates, like and share PSM videos. If you are watching and view from Facebook, follow and like the page for more updates. Also share PSM videos. Question 12a. Given that 5 cos bracket open s plus 8.5 bracket close degree minus 1 equal to 0 over this range, calculate correct to the nearest degree the value of s. Solution. This is the given problem. Let us start by transferring minus 1 to the right hand side. You have this result. Divide through by 5 so that we can get cos standing alone first. If you do that, you have this result and it is equal to 0.2. We have to get s plus 8.5 degrees first before you can get s. To do that, you have to take the inverse of cosine of both sides. So you have inverse of cosine of 0.2, and that is 78.463 degrees. For us to get s now, you transfer 8.5 to the right hand side. So s is equal to 78.463 degrees minus 8.5 degrees equal to 69.963 degrees. To the nearest degree, you have 70 degrees as the value of s. Question 12b. The bearing of Q from P is 150 degrees and the bearing of P from arrow is 0.15 degrees. If Q and arrow are 24 kilometers and 32 kilometers respectively from P, Roman figure 1 represent this information in a diagram. Roman figure 2, calculate the distance between Q and arrow correct to 2 decimal places. Roman figure 3, find the bearing of arrow from Q correct to the nearest degree. Solution. From the question, bearing of Q from P and bearing of P from arrow, you must look at the quadrant. Let us start from this part. Bearing of P from arrow, you have to locate the point arrow first and get B and get P from it on this bearing. So we have arrow somewhere here. 0.15 degrees is in the first quadrant. So from here you take it to P and the distance is 32 kilometers. Now the bearing of Q from P is 150 degrees. So from P you get Q. 150 is in the second quadrant. So you draw it this way to this point and you extend it to Q. Now you must be mindful of the distance. Arrow to P is longer than P to Q. So you must draw it to scale to show that you know what you are doing. Alright. Now here is 0.15 degrees. This angle is the same thing because they are alternate angle. Now look at this whole side is 180 degrees. More than half of it is 150. The remaining part becomes 30 for you to have the whole 180 in the first and second quadrant. So if you add 15 to 30, you have 0.45 degrees. You are asked to find the distance between Q and arrow. This is Q and this is arrow. So this is the distance. Now the angle facing side Q arrow is known. You know two other sides. You can use cosine rule to get the distance. Then the bearing of arrow from Q, you have to go to Q. So you are here, you start from the north to that line that join Q and arrow together. So what we need is from here to this place. Okay, now we are already in the third quadrant. We know parts of the fourth quadrant. So if you get this remaining angle, you add theta to 30 and subtract it from 360 degrees. That gives the bearing of arrow from Q. Let us see all of that. Okay, I have already explained the solution. Distance between Q and arrow is by cosine rule. So you state the rule: Q arrow squared equal to sum of squares of the other two sides minus 2 times the product of the other two sides cos P. That is the given angle. The side you are looking for, the angle facing it is always given before you can use cosine rule. So you have Q arrow squared is equal to 32 squared plus 24 squared minus 2 times 32 times 24 times cos 45 degrees. So if you evaluate, you have 1024 for 32 squared plus 576 for 24 squared minus, if you multiply these three numbers, you have this result. You check cos 45 degrees, you have 0.701. If you add these two numbers, you have this. You multiply these two numbers, you have this result. If you subtract, you get this. To get Q arrow, you need to take the square root of both sides. So Q arrow is equal to square root of 513.8944, and that is 22.6692. To two decimal places, you have 22.67 kilometers. Roman figure 3, bearing of arrow from Q, as I have explained earlier, is from the north because it's always 3 digits, and in 3 digits you always start moving from the north to that line that join Q and arrow together. So we need this complete angle, which will subtract from 360 to get the bearing. To get theta, this is what happens. This angle, the side facing it is known. You cannot use this side because the angle is not known. So you have to use this side since Q arrow is not known and the angle facing it is also known. So you state the sine rule. 32 over sine theta equal to Q arrow, that is 22.6692 over sine 45 degrees. You make sine theta the subject, you have this result. If you multiply 32 by sine 45, you have this result. Divide by the denominator, which gives this. To get theta, you share the inverse of sine of 0.9981, and that gives 89.4787. Therefore, bearing of arrow from Q is equal to 360 degrees minus theta, which is 86.4787 degrees minus 030 degrees, and that gives 243.5213 degrees. To the nearest degree, you have 244 degrees. Question 13a. Two functions f and g are defined by this and this, where s is a real number. Roman figure 1, if f of s minus 1, that means f bracket open s minus 1 bracket close minus 7 is equal to 0, find the values of s. Roman figure 2, evaluate f of minus 1 over 2 times f times g of 3 over f of 4 minus g of 5. So let's take Roman figure 1. This function is read as f such that s implies 2s squared minus 1, and it can be written as f of s equal to 2s squared minus 1. To get f of s minus 1 first, you simply replace s with s minus 1. You multiply it by 2. Because s is squared, you also square it and you subtract this 1. Because of the bracket, because of the power, you can write the bracket twice, then minus 1. If you expand it, you have this result, minus 1. If you open the bracket with 2, you have this result, minus 1. If you add the two constants, you have 2s squared minus 4s plus 1. Now, let's get the whole Roman figure 1. Already, you know this part to be this. Now, minus 7, you simply subtract 7. That results to this. Divide through by 2, and you have s squared minus 2s minus 3 equal to 0. Solve by factorizing. Look for two factors of 3 that the sum is minus 2 and the product is minus 3. Such factors are minus 3 plus 1. You express them in terms of s and use them to replace the middle number minus 2s in this form, the middle term. The purpose is to have 4 terms so that you factorize by grouping. The first 2 terms, first group, the last 2 terms, second group. From the first group, s is common. If you factor out s, you have this result. Nothing is common here, you simply factor out 1. Clearly, s minus 3 is common. This s here and the plus 1 outside combine to form the other bracket and equate to 0. You equate each factor to 0 in this form. If you transfer the respective constant terms, you have s equal to 3 or s equal to minus 1. Taking the smaller number first, you have s equal to minus 1 or 3. Roman figure 2, we are to evaluate this expression. So let's get the respective parts. For the f function, it is this. F of minus 1 over 2 simply means you replace s with minus 1 over 2. Then you square it, you subtract 1. That gives 2 times 1 over 4 if you square this term. If you reduce 2 and 4 by 2, you have 1 over 2 minus 1. That is minus 1 over 2. So let's get f of 4. You simply replace s with 4 in this form. That gives 2 times 16 minus 1. That is 32 minus 1, and you have 31. For g of 3 and g of 5, you recall the function for g of s to be 3s plus 2. For g of 3, you replace s with 3 in this form. That gives 9 plus 2 equal to 11. For g of 5, you replace s in the same function in this form, and you have 15 plus 2, that is 17. This is the whole expression. F of minus 1 over 2 is 1 over 2. G of 3 is 11. You multiply them. F of 4 is 31 minus G of 5 is 17. That simplifies to this. Now 2 is denominator, likewise 14. So you can bring 2 down to multiply 14 in this form, and you have minus 11 over 28 as the value of the given expression. Question 13b. An operation star is defined on the set arrow of real numbers by m star n equal to minus n over m squared plus 1, where m, n are members of arrow. If minus 3, minus 10 are members of arrow, show whether or not the operation is commutative. This is the given operation. For commutative property, all you have to do is to show that minus 3 star minus 10 is equal to minus 10 star minus 3. That is simply interchanging the position of the element. So let's take the first part, minus 3 star minus 10. What that means is that m is minus 3 and n is minus 10. You replace in the operation and you have this. That is 10 over 9 plus 1, 10 over 10 equal to 1. In the other side, what it means is that m is equal to minus 10 and n is minus 3. If you replace m and n in the same operation, you have it in this form. That is 3 over 100 plus 1. That is 3 over 101. Clearly, both results are not the same. It shows that the operation is not commutative because this is not equal to this. That is, m star n is not equal to n star m. To end this paper, there is every need for you to be saved. If you are not to be saved, you simply give your life to the Lord Jesus Christ and confess Him as your Lord and personal Savior every day of your life. If you are saved already, congratulations. Live righteously and be prepared, because on the last day, some will be taken and some will be left. Take good care of yourself. Stay out of trouble. Study your books. Do the needful at all times. Flee every appearance of evil. Don't defraud others to make money. Use your hands and your brain to work genuinely and legally, and the Lord will bless you. Goodbye and stay tuned.